If our reading had gone ahead as planned, I would quite likely have read this poem because it's set in the part of the Kootenays I live in, and yeah, that's why I would have read it. It's called Fences. It's for my late friend Vi Plotnikoff, who was a Doukhobor writer. She wrote a book called Head Cook at Weddings and Funerals. It was a set of short stories, and it was one of the first books of fiction to examine the Doukhobor experience, which was quite a wonderful thing. And I miss having Vi to chat with. She was a bright light in the Kootenay community. This is called Fences. We follow the hearse up the hill to the English cemetery. Snow falls softly, feathers the ground. Across the river in Utashenya, another cemetery, Blachadanya, overlooks the Columbia River. Abandoned by all but the dead, slate and marble markers lie amid dry grasses surrounded by a wire fence. Vi's in a pale blue dress in a plain pine box, hands folded, her eyes shut, fastened securely at her chin as if the sharp November wind might tug it off. A kerchief, a platok she'd say, covers her head with pink flowers. Off to the north in New Denver, another wire fence, a chain link fence, keeps children in and parents out. There's always singing at Doukhobor funerals. Today, at the graveside, a cappella voices rise, clouds part, and sunshine welcomes my friend. In the 50s, the RCMP came before dawn, rousted sons of freedom children from their beds, children whose parents didn't hide them in cupboards or root cellars, under floorboards or in the woods, wherever they could get to in time. On her casket, pink roses from her family. A deer, a young buck, emerges from the woods, watches while she is lowered into the ground. The government said parents were wrong to keep their children out of school. It punished the kids as well as the parents. Vi wrote stories of Doukhobor life, of aunts and young soldiers, of children and their weddings, of girls and their weddings, wrote of a dead village with no children, gone with their youth, gone with their laughter, as if the Pied Piper had lured them away. 2 hours at a time, 24 times a year, parents could visit their children. In winter, they touched fingers through the chain link fence, afraid to kiss, for the fence was cold and their lips might stick. Sorry. After she's in the ground and the deer has returned to the forest, we drive back to Brilliant, to long tables laden with tea and bread, bowls brimming with lapsha and funeral borscht, served by the ladies. In the 50s, children like me, same age as the kids in New Denver, didn't know how to say platok or blachadanya, didn't know the Doukhobor kids could speak Russian. They kept that secret. Last time I saw her, propped against pillows in her hospital bed, "Spasiba," I said. Thank you for the stories. Spasiba for helping us English begin to understand. Thank you for telling. Spasiba.